What's up, Taiwan? I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's main opposition is struggling to recover party unity after a row over a key election committee. That's with less than a year to go before Taiwan picks its new president. Stesh Butler has more.
Eric Zhu is a man under pressure. On Wednesday, the party he chairs, the Kuomintang or KMT, began preparing for Taiwan's election in January next year. But it fell at the first hurdle. Taiwan's main opposition erupted in rebellion after its leaders picked two ex-convicts for a key committee. The party's most likely candidate for president, Chiayi, posted veiled criticism of the move on Facebook. He said the party should keep criminals out of politics. Now, one of those two committee members has hit back. He says if Ho can do better, he should join the committee himself or announce his candidacy.
本人在这里诚挚地呼吁最强母鸡侯友宜，请你公开站出来宣布参选总统。
But Ho, who's the mayor of Taiwan's biggest city, is staying as non-committal as ever.
该说的话都会说，该做的事都会做，每一个人有自己的角色。
The squabble is a bad look for the KMT. They've spent months accusing Taiwan's ruling Democratic Progressive Party of working with criminals. Now they've opened themselves up to the same criticism. Party chair Eric Zhu is scrambling to deal with the fallout. He's dismissing any talk of a rift between himself and Ho.
我跟侯市长的共识都很清楚，我们都是坚定的反对黑金。对于外界的意见，我们都听到了，我们也在调整。
One of the controversial committee members has already quit, and the party will gather next week to fill his place. But with the election looming ahead and the ruling party already banding behind their presumed candidate, Lai Ching-te, and the KMT risks losing ground in the race to take Taiwan's top office. Damon Lin and Stesh Butler for TaiwanPlus.
For the first time in Taiwan, female soldiers will be included in the country's compulsory military reservist program. Some 220 women who have left the military will take part in the first trial starting in May. They will undergo up to a week of reservist training. Taiwan is boosting its combat readiness program as China continues putting military pressure on the country. Taiwan's financial authority says the country is unlikely to be affected by the turmoil at European banking giant Credit Suisse. The Swiss bank's stock plunged earlier this week over fears about the state of its balance sheet. The Financial Supervisory Commission said that banking, securities, and insurance sectors in Taiwan have around $5.14 billion in exposure to Credit Suisse. The exposure in each of those sectors is relatively small, meaning Taiwan's risk is manageable. That view is echoed by Taiwan's largest banking organization.
我们对它直接的布选没有，但是当我们会买一些债券呢，有了还是有。这一次我个人是觉得那个情况是没有那么严重。
Making trade between Taiwan and the U.S. easier, faster, and cheaper. That's one of the aims of the U.S.-Taiwan Initiative on 21st Century Trade, according to a summary of the first round of talks under the program. The summary was released by the U.S. Trade Representative. The proposals cover 5 of the 12 areas involved in the initiative. Those include trade facilitation, regulatory practices, trading services, and anti-corruption. A 5th chapter will address measures to help Taiwan's small and medium-sized enterprises enter the United States. Taiwan's Trade Authority also issued a statement on the talks. It says that good progress is being made. When Honduras announced it would be cutting diplomatic ties with Taiwan, the news came as a particular shock to Hondurans living here. 3/4 of them are students, with around a third of those on government scholarships. Sully Jensen went to speak to some of them to find out how they're dealing with the news.
Meet Samael, Johan, Asael, and Juan. They're friends living in Taipei, and they're all from Honduras. As full-time students at National Taiwan University, this is their first time living abroad.
Academically speaking, I feel like I've been able to fully develop myself, the knowledge I require in order to be able to improve my country. But in a personal matter, I believe that I've found a different culture, something that I really love, a place that I can call my second home.
Mostly I've learned discipline. I've learned great values, hard work. I've learned kindness of people here. I've been embraced by this community, and I am really thankful with what Taiwan has given to me.
But now their futures in Taiwan are in doubt. Around 100 Honduran students like these are on scholarships granted to citizens of Taiwan's diplomatic allies. But with the prospect of Honduras and Taiwan breaking off formal relations, many students don't know what this will mean for them.
I felt shocked. I felt there was nothing I could do about it, right? That's the first thing you feel, that impotence. And with that comes worry, it comes nerves.
Taiwan and Honduras have been diplomatic allies for over 80 years, and that long shared history has helped attract almost 400 Hondurans here, mostly students. During her campaign last year, Honduras' president Xiomara Castro promised she'd open ties with China. But when she made the announcement on Wednesday, it still came as a shock to Hondurans in Taiwan. Opening ties with China would mean ending them with Taiwan, which China claims as part of its own territory. And without the official relationship between their home country and Taiwan, many Hondurans may not be able to stay here.
A lot of people here came because we have a dream, and our dream is being completed in Taiwan. And I believe it is completely unfair, at least for me, that we are not being taken into consideration. I am not somebody who can decide whether or not the government decides to take action, but I do please ask our government to take us into consideration over this decision they're taking.
The Honduran embassy has told TaiwanPlus that they're unable to respond to students' concerns. Scholarship programs have helped strengthen diplomatic ties between the two countries. Current Honduran ambassador Harold Burgos first came to Taiwan on a scholarship. Some long-term residents say it's unfair to jeopardize the students' prospects because of political maneuvering between governments.
We become part of the workforce. We pay taxes once we graduate, when we work here. And given the fact that, Taiwan is having this problem with their natality rates. So it's kind of like, you're still kicking out people that doesn't want to leave and that have been prepared here.
Not all Hondurans in Taiwan are students, but they make up the vast majority. Many want to stay in order to complete their studies.
We're doing everything that we can to stay here because that's our dream. Our dream was to come here and study in Taiwan.
And while in the short term, the breakup between Honduras and Taiwan is hurting these individual students most, they believe the long-term damage to both countries as a whole could be far greater. Patrick Chen and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
The 2023 Tour de Taiwan wrapped up on Thursday. Leslie Liao has a recap of the multi-day international cycling event.
The 2023 Tour de Taiwan took place over 5 days and almost 700 kilometers. The annual event drew close to 200 international cyclists to bike around Taiwan. This year's event was divided into 5 stages. The first stage took place in Taipei City in the north. Participants did 8 laps around a 10-kilometer stretch of the city. The second stage was a 120-kilometer course in Taoyuan City. The third stage of this year's tour cut through multiple counties and cities in the country's center. The fourth and longest stage took place in landlocked Nantou County. That course was nearly 170 kilometers long. The fifth and final stage was a roughly 150-kilometer ride around Kaohsiung City. 5 different competitors won each of the stages, but Dutch cyclist Jeroen Myers logged the fastest total time. That made him the overall winner of the 2023 Tour de Taiwan, claiming the coveted yellow jersey. Taiwan is known for its biking paths that cut through the country's diverse scenery. But these cyclists probably didn't spend much time sightseeing as they furiously pedaled away toward the finish line. Leon Lien and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Birdwatchers are flocking to the coastal wetlands of Chiayi County in southern Taiwan. This winter, around 40,000 migratory birds have come from colder latitudes to Chiayi's Budai marshes. They include close to 1,500 black-faced spoonbills, an emblematic bird in this part of Taiwan. The local government has organized a birdwatching festival around the wetlands, and it is hoped this will encourage more people to catch a final glimpse of the avian visitors before winter ends. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, we leave you with images of white cherry blossoms in the mountains of central Taiwan. I'm Ethan. Take care, and I'll see you next time.